Before I get started, I'd like to say I do not have a God tier PC or a capture card for consoles. You're not going to be seeing Battlefield 1 gameplay here, or whatever, Battlefield 1 beta gameplay, whatever, same shit, almost. You'll be seeing another game that I decided to play and record. So, yeah, if you just came here for the Battlefield 1 beta gameplay, then just go away now. Unless you want to just sit here and listen to me ramble on about the Battlefield 1 beta for a couple minutes. Now, while the Battlefield 1 beta was out, I played it a lot. A lot. I think I got to maybe rank 50, but I'll be honest, I think there might have been a ranking glitch, but I don't know, that sounds like an excuse, but I'm not kidding. I think there was some sort of ranking glitch. Sometimes I would level up from, I remember I was like when I was level 9, I ranked up to level 13 the next match, whatever. So, while I do think Battlefield 1, gameplay-wise, is pretty solid, it definitely feels like a Battlefield game. I really don't understand why people are saying it's like Battlefront. The only reason I think people will think it's like Battlefront, just the graphics, but of course, it's on the same engine. It's gonna look like Battlefront. The map they decided to use, it looks like Jakku. Yeah, it's gonna look like that. Gameplay-wise, though, I don't think it plays like a Battlefront at all. It plays like a Battlefield. Whatever. So, I definitely do think there are problems, even though it's good. Overall, like I said, it's good. There's definitely problems. Now, the first of those problems I'd like to talk about is the tanks and anti-tank weapons. Now, what I've heard from most people that play the beta is that tanks are overpowered, and to an extent, I can agree. I've seen players go 30-0, 40-something-0, whatever, while they're just in a tank. Now, there are two reasons I believe tanks are overpowered. The first reason is not necessarily the tanks themselves, but the anti-tank weapons. The best anti-tank weapons, which are the rocket gun, anti-tank grenade, and debatably the light anti-tank grenade, do an average about 30 to 35 damage. But the problem with those weapons is that you have to get real up and close and personal to use them, which can result in you getting run over by the tank you're trying to shoot, shot by a sniper, or maybe even shot by the tank you're trying to shoot, or throw a grenade at, whatever. Now, the rocket gun can hit from a decent range. I definitely think it should be increased by a little bit, but I'll talk more about that later. But you still have to be pretty close to hit a tank with the rocket gun. Now, when it comes to taking out a tank at farther ranges, like a couple hundred meters away, you've got the K-bullets, which are pretty shitty, at least against the tanks. They're good against armored cars and scout cars, but against tanks, they're useless. You do about 3 to 5 damage at one shot, and you have about 4 to 5 shots. So you can do maybe around 12 to 25 damage in total with those. Now, I know you can disable the tracks so they can't move, but let's be honest, most people just aim towards the center part of the tank where the gun is. Now, what I think they should do is increase the range of the rocket gun by at least a little bit, and increase the damage of the K-bullets by maybe 9 to 10 per shot. But if they increase it maybe even a little more, maybe like 15 to 20, they definitely should decrease the ammo count to maybe like 3 shots or 4 shots. No, they already have 4 shots. I'm a fucking idiot. I can't read this. God damn it. Whatever. As for the anti-tank and light anti-tank grenades, I really don't think much can be done about them. Like, they're all right. Like, they get the job done. They're probably fine where they are right now. Now, I know there's anti-tank grenades and tripwire bombs, like the ones for support, like the high explosive, and I think it's it, high explosive and like gas, whatever. They're pretty. I don't know. Like, I never tried them out during the beta. If you did, and you know, like, they're God tier, and I missed out on something, just let me know down in the comments. Now, the second reason I feel tanks are overpowered is this new self-repair mechanic. And obviously, this isn't limited to tanks. The planes also have these self-repair mechanics as well. But for the tanks and self-repair, I really feel that tanks got a huge advantage from this. They can have their health reduced to the size of a fun-sized candy bar's worth, and they can get it all back within a couple of seconds. Now, they did balance it out, which by making you not be able to move or shoot, and if you get shot, it stops. I mean, that's all good and well, but if you can get into like a really good position and no one's shooting at you, I mean, you'll probably be like in the middle of the map and no one's going to shoot you. They'll be like, oh, the tank's just empty, leave it alone. Unless someone spots it, then you're fucked. But if you get behind a nice piece of cover, you could probably get all your health back within like 5 to 10 seconds. I don't know, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration. But either way, it's quick. Now, I think the repair times should be a little longer, or let me rephrase that. They should, the repair time should be longer for more health, or they should be shorter for shorter bursts of health. Now, I think, yeah, that's all I gotta say about the tanks and anti-tanks for now. Now, what I want to talk about next is the map they decided to use, Sinai Desert. And when it comes to maps, I think I'm pretty easy to please. I like it. I really don't get what everyone else is hating on about it. I mean, it definitely isn't perfect. It's not like Siege of Shanghai in my eyes, but like I said, pretty easy to please when it comes to maps. Now, yeah, that's really all I got to say about Sinai Desert. Next, I'd like to talk about Rush, and I'll get this out of the way right now. It's unbalanced. I think everyone that played knows this. And when I was playing Rush on the defending side, I began to have Vietnam flashbacks of the Battlefront beta. You know, the Empire stomping out the rebellion. I mean, it's pretty accurate, like from Empire Strikes Back. Whatever. But instead of AT-ATs and AT-STs wrecking rebels, it was tanks, and more fucking tanks taking out the Ottoman Empire. Now, I think that the attackers should get one tank, and one tank only. Or maybe if, like, in the full game they fix, like, all the issues I said above with the tanks, maybe two. Or more. I don't know. But I think, as of right now, if they keep tanks the same, the attackers should get only one tank, and maybe one or two troop transports. Now, I know the defenders also get some tanks, but I don't know. I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed like they got them really fucking slow. Either that, or whenever I went to go get in the tank, someone had taken it already, so I'm just waiting there forever. I'm like, fuck, is it gonna spawn? Whatever. Now, that's really all I got to say about Rush. Now, next, I want to talk about the classes, more specifically Medic. In the beta, I was revived a total of maybe 3 or 4 times, and that was because I was playing with my friends, and I was telling them, hey, can you give me a revive? And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. Now, originally, I thought that people were just being dumbasses. Then I decided to play Medic, and I saw they weren't dumbasses. It's, when someone requests a revive, the symbol is so fucking small. Like, you can barely tell that someone needs a revive. Like, I mean, if you're really close to them, maybe you can see it, but for the most part, you cannot see that shit. And, when I play Battlefield 4 as a medic, I can see that shit from all the way across the map. The revive symbol. No, that's a little bit of exaggeration once again. Whatever. But still, you get my point. And, I think another thing that kind of ruins medic is this whole skip revive button. Or whatever, mechanic, whatever you want to call it. It makes them useless when it comes to reviving. Like, there's really no point in reviving anybody anymore. Because then they'll just use the skip revive, they'll go up to the map or whatever, and they'll respawn in a couple seconds. Now, I think for now, that's all I really got to say about the problems of Battlefield 1. Maybe I'll make another video talking about what I liked about the Battlefield 1 beta. But I really hope that these problems I talked about here will get fixed. So, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you like. Have a nice day.